Hello, my dear students. I am Priyanka Koiri, your science teacher, and the chapter that we are discussing is heredity and evolution. Okay, so in the last class, what we have learned is that we have finished the first part of the chapter. There, we studied about accumulation of variation during reproduction, right? There, I told you that during reproduction, variations get accumulated in the next generation, in the progeny. Also, I told you that variation is useful for the survival of species over time. Then we discussed about the rules of heredity determine the process by which traits and characteristics are reliably inherited. Okay. Then we studied about that both the parents contribute equal amount of genetic material to the child, right? Then we discussed about rules of inheritance of trait with the help of a monohybrid cross. Okay, and then we discussed about rules for the inheritance of traits for a dihybrid cross. Okay, then we discussed about the laws of inheritance that were given by Mendel. Okay, then we also discussed why Mendel selected pea plant for his study, okay, or for his experiment. Then we discussed about what is the actual mechanism behind heredity. Okay, then we discussed about sex determination in human beings. Also, we got us a brief idea about evolution, and in the last class we discussed about acquired and inherited traits. So these are the topics that I have finished in the previous classes. Okay, in today's class we are going to discuss about that evolution comes with inheritance. Okay, so evolution comes with inheritance. So what is evolution? Evolution is defined as the change in the inherited traits of a population of an organism through successive generation. Okay, so evolution is nothing but this accumulation of changes. Okay, accumulation of changes in the inherited traits, okay, in the successive generation. So in this in the successive generation, or how a change is accumulated in a population, that process is your evolution. Okay, now when a living organism reproduce, okay, when a living organism reproduce, they pass on to their progeny a collection of traits. Okay, so these traits may be tangible and obvious, like pattern of butterfly's wing. Okay, so when any organism reproduce, they pass on traits. So these traits could be tangible, or like could be very simple or obvious, like this the pattern of a butterfly wing, or the skin color, or anything. But they also include characteristics as relatively anonymous as the sequence of DNA. But these traits that pass on from parents to offspring could be very simple, like this skin color, hair color, or eye color, anything of that sort. But it could be like any random sequence of DNA also, okay, is also passed from parents to offspring. Okay, in fact, when we talk about evolutionary inheritance, okay, so when we talk about evolutionary inheritance, that that is what we are actually referring to. Okay, the transfer of genetic sequences from one generation to the next. Okay, so when we talk about this evolutionary sequences or evolutionary inheritance, we are actually referring to the transmission of DNA from one generation to the next. Okay, when particular genetic sequence change in a population, and these changes are inherited across successive generation, this is the stuff of evolution. So evolution is what? Evolution is the change in genetic sequence, that is change in DNA sequence in a population, and these changes are inherited. Okay, that means these changes are transferred across generation. Okay, so when this happens, this is a concept of evolution. Concept of evolution is that evolution is the change in DNA sequence over a period of time. Okay, this is the reason why the ideas of heredity and genetics that we have discussed earlier are so essential for understanding evolution. So, in order to understand evolution, we must understand what is heredity and genetics that we have discussed in the earlier classes. Okay. Now, this is Charles Robert Darwin, a very famous person. Okay, he said that Darwin formulated his hypothesis that evolution took place due to natural selection. So Darwin he went on a sea voyage on an island, and he studied the birds and the environment there, and after that he formulated a hypothesis that evolution took place due to natural selection, but he did not know the mechanism whereby variation arose in the species, but he didn't know how these variations have occurred in a species. It is quite ironic that he could have done so if he had seen the significance of the experiments his Austrian contemporary, that is Gregor Mendel, was doing, but then Mendel too did not notice Darwin's work as relevant to his. So it is quite ironic to say that Darwin could have understood the mechanism of variation, but he was not aware of the work of Mendel. Also, Mendel at that time was not aware of Darwin's work. Otherwise, if these two people have collaborated, or if they have known about each other's work, then they could have solved this problem. Okay, but they were not aware. Okay. Now, according to Darwin, evolution is the change in the inherited traits of a population of organisms through successive generation. This change results from the interaction between processes that introduce variation into a population. So this is what Darwin says about evolution, that evolution is the accumulation of variations in a population, and this variation arises because of interaction of the processes. Okay. Now next is your origin of life. So Mendel and Darwin, they have spoken about how traits are inherited from one person to another person, or how evolution have taken place, but none of them has spoken about how life has originated in on earth, right? That how life came on earth. Okay, so there was this person. Okay, before going to that, let us understood Mendelism and Darwinism in brief. Okay, so this is Mendel, if you remember him, and this is Darwin. So Mendel said that Mendel experiments give us the mechanism for the inheritance of traits from one generation to the next generation. Okay, so how traits are transferred from one generation to the next generation, that mechanism was given by Mendel. Darwin's theory of evolution tells us how life evolved from simple to more complex form. Darwin theory says that how life has evolved, but none of them speaks about origin of life. Okay, so there was this person, his name is J.B.S. Haldane. Okay, he is a British scientist, and later on he took the citizenship of India. Okay, that means he became a citizen of India in his late years. Okay, like in his later part of his life. So J.B.S. Haldane, a British scientist, in the year 1929, okay, he gave a theory about how life has originated on Earth. So he said that first the Earth for a formation of Earth took place, and after that simple inorganic molecules have developed or originated, and from simple inorganic molecules, simple organic molecules like came, and from simple organic molecules complex organic molecules came, and from this complex organic molecules living beings have originated. Okay, so this is what the theory of J.B.S. Haldane says. This is, remember, this is just a theory, but there was no experimental proof that this is how life is originated. So Haldane said that after the formation of Earth, from simple inorganic molecules, simple organic molecules originated. Okay, so simple inorganic molecules means like carbon dioxide, okay, methane. Okay, so these are the simple inorganic molecules. From simple inorganic molecules, simple organic molecules originated. That means simple organic molecules like amino acids originated, and from simple organic molecules came your complex organic molecules, that is your proteins, carbohydrate, and from proteins and carbohydrate living beings originated. So this is how life has originated on earth, and this was the theory of JBS Harlan. But this is just a theory, or this is just a hypothesis, but there was no experimental proof about it. Okay, but these two scientists, that is Stanley L. Miller and Harold C. Urey, conducted experiment in 1953. Okay, that shows how life has originated on Earth. So the basis of that of their experiment was based on Harlan's theory. Okay, so what did they do? They created artificial atmosphere. Okay, they created artificial atmosphere with the help of gases like NH3, that is ammonia, CH4, that is methane, and H2S, that is hydrogen sulfide. Okay, then what did they do is that they set, like, they created artificial atmosphere by taking all these gases, and this set the temperature at around 100 degrees Celsius, and they created lightning with the help of electrical sparks. Okay, then what they do is that after this experiment, after creating artificial atmosphere and setting the temperature around 100 degrees and then passing electric current through it, it is seen that 15% of the carbon from methane gas gets converted. Okay, so methane, that is CH4. Okay, so 15% of carbon from methane has converted into what? Into simple organic molecules. These simple organic molecules are nothing but your amino acids. Okay, and from these simple organic molecules lead to the formation of complex organic molecules, that is your proteins, and from these proteins originated your formation of protoplasm. Okay, and from protoplasm came a simple living cell. Okay, so this is how life was created on earth, and this is the experimental proof that how life is created on earth. Okay, clear? So Miller and Urey have conducted experiment in 1953, and Harlan gave the theory that life originated from simple inorganic molecules. Okay, this is the experimental setup of Miller and Urey, which shows how life created on primitive earth. Okay, now let us try to recall what we have studied. We discussed about evolution comes with inheritance. Okay, I told you what is the definition of evolution, that evolution is defined as the change in the genetic sequence, or in change in the inherited genetic sequence over generation. Okay, and it comes from inheritance only. Okay, and then we discussed about origin of life. There JBS Harlan gave a theory about how life originated on earth, but he have no experimental evidence. But later in 1953, Urey and Miller conducted an experiment that shows how life originated on earth. Okay, so that's all for today's class. Thank you.